Our topic is structure of ATP. Guys, keep in mind that you can never understand the functional aspect of a molecule unless you know what sort of structure it contains, because without knowing the structure you will never be able to tell that how functionally it works under different physiological conditions. Therefore, for understanding the functional aspects of ATP, it is of highest importance that we also know about the structural aspects of ATP. So, the ATP molecule is consisted of three very important components. First is the nucleotide component, and as it is ATP, its nucleotide is adenine. The second component is the ribose sugar, the sugar part, and the third component is the phosphate moiety. All three components are very important, but of course, the phosphate moiety is the most important, and these all three components will join together make the ATP molecule. The structure of ATP was discovered in 1970s. Keep in mind, guys, that for understanding the conceptual part of any topic, it's very important, especially in science, it's very important that you know a little bit about the history of the discoveries which are involved in the elevation of that topic, in our understanding of that topic. So, whenever you are studying any topic, whether it's ATP synthesis, whether it's photosynthesis or whatsoever, it is very good that, and it's very important also, that you also know little bit about the process which is involved in the discovering of those things, how the scientists came to think about this, how they conceived an idea, and what sort of experiments were done to really reach to the truth. As I mentioned, the structure of ATP was revealed in 1970s. The paper was absolutely a milestone paper. It was published in one of the most prestigious journals, that is the Nature. The three-dimensional structure of adenine triphosphate was the title. I will later tell you that how we can nowadays by making use of different databases available on web, how we can really use those databases to see and to investigate the structure of any molecule visually or by in silico method. So, let us talk a little bit about the different components which make ATP by component, individually how they are making their role in the function of the ATP. First is of course phosphate group. The phosphate group is involved in the production of the energy. The energy produced by ATP is mainly by the phosphate group. Not only this, the phosphate group is also involved in the energy transduction, that is signal transduction rather. The signal transduction is the way the cells really communicate with its outer environment or even inner environment also. Then there are ribose and adenine part of the ATP, which are not as much discussed whenever we are talking about the ATP in terms of its role in the metabolism. Anyway, provide a very important thing, that is the structural scaffold, that is provides a structural part of the whole molecule, the part on which the phosphate group really can stand and get a platform, so that it can do whatever it is doing. Then it also, these two components, that the ribose and the adenine, they also provide the binding sites, so that any enzyme which is acting upon the phosphate bond, it can really rest on something to do its function. It then provides stability, it gives overall stability to the whole molecule, and both ribose sugar and the adenine themselves individually can also act as, in certain cases, they can also act as signaling molecule. So, here is a database which is available on the internet. It's rcb.org. It's one of the most comprehensive database for seeing or visualizing the structures of different molecules. You can see 2D structures, you can see 3D structures. It's very, very useful tool which is available free of cost. So, this is an ATP molecule you can see here, and you can rotate it in different ways to really visualize its different structural aspects. For instance, this is the double ringed adenine structure, this is the ribose sugar, and these are 3 phosphate bonds. So, in this way you can rotate in one way or the other, and you can use this tool to really understand different structural parts, different dimensions of a molecule.